Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning for another news update for Tuesday, September 23, 2025. And I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, Toddler electrocuted in Westmoreland. A pall of gloom now hangs over a Westmoreland community where a 3-year-old boy was electrocuted at his home. The police have identified him as a Tamani Flemings of Nile District, Westmoreland. Reports are that about 9 a.m., the child got entangled with electrical wires which were on the ground in his yard. The injured toddler was taken to the Savannah Lamar Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The Savannah Lamar Criminal Investigation Branch is conducting a probe into the matter. Jamaican man deported by U.S. to Eswatini back home, says Johnson Smith. Minister of Foreign Affairs Kamina Johnson Smith says that the Jamaican man who was deported by the U.S. to Eswatini is now back home in Jamaica. Orville Etoria was deported to Eswatini in July and held in a maximum security prison in the African nation for more than 7 weeks without a charge. On Monday evening, Johnson Smith said the Jamaican government was pleased to welcome Etoria back home and urged the Jamaicans to respect his desire for a quiet return. We reaffirm that the well-being of Jamaicans overseas is a constant priority for the government and noted that this case is another example of the importance of international cooperation and the role of our diplomatic network in protecting the rights of Jamaican nationals abroad, Johnson Smith said. She added, "We are grateful to the government of Eswatini for its cooperation in this matter and for the duty of care it has exercised. We also thank the International Organization for Migration for its direct support and commend our High Commission in Pretoria for their hands-on engagement. Together, our combined efforts ensured Mr. Etoria's safe return." Etoria was the first of at least 20 deportees sent by the U.S. to various African nations in the last 2 months to be identified publicly. The deportations are part of the Trump administration's largely secretive third country program to crack down on immigration. The 62-year-old Etoria was convicted of a serious crime in the U.S. in 1997 and was released from prison on parole in 2021, the New York-based Legal Aid Society said in a statement. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security said in a post on X that Etoria had been convicted of murder. The Legal Aid Society said the U.S. government had falsely claimed that Jamaica refused to accept him back. Homeland Security, when announcing the deportation of a total of 5 men to Eswatini in mid-July, claimed they were so uniquely barbaric that their home countries refused to take them back. Homeland Security said at the time the men were dangerous criminals from Jamaica, Cuba, Laos, Vietnam, and Yemen, but didn't identify them by name. Shooter wanted for murder. Detectives assigned to the St. Andrew South Police Division have listed 37-year-old Samuel Brown, otherwise known as a Shooter or Mark, of 440 Drive, Kingston 11, as wanted for the murder of 49-year-old O'Neill Mullings of Thompson View Avenue, Kingston 11. He is being urged to turn himself in to the Hunts Bay Police immediately. Members of the public are also reminded that it is a criminal offense to harbor a fugitive. Additionally, anyone with information that can assist in locating him is asked to contact the Hunts Bay Criminal Investigations Branch at 876-923-7230, Crime Stop at 311, the JCFT line at 811, or the nearest police station. Expert recommends a redesign of urban infrastructure following Friday's flooding. Professor of Urban Planning and Public Policy at the University of Technology, Carol Archer, has recommended a shift toward a sponge city designed to address the severe flooding following Friday's heavy rainfall. Noting that several cities have adopted this approach, Professor Archer said after Hurricane Sandy, authorities in New York, redesigned and upgraded to pull the water away from the roadway, store it and reuse it.
The Sponge City is a nature-based approach to urban planning that they use the natural process, green infrastructure, to manage the stormwater runoff. You design the drains so that they can accommodate the water. You design catchments in certain areas so that the water doesn't all rush down to the sea but is collected and reused for other purposes. I think, again, a call is needed for government to put the necessary policies in place and do the necessary funding for projects to implement this nature-based solution to manage stormwater runoff. When you look at the force of the water coming from the Dillsbury area, you see not only the construction material, because clearly there's a lot of construction in that section of the city. Most of these areas are now paved over, and the water is forced back on the streets, and the increase in the volume of water. When it comes down, the drains that are there, if you were to travel in the Jacksonville area, you will see that most of the drains cannot manage the volume. So in certain sections, you were stuck for hours until the water subsided.
Friday's downpour left homes flooded due to overflowing gullies, which resulted in damaged furniture and appliances. Motor vehicles were also flooded. The Kingston and the St. Andrew Municipal Corporation has said it will be reviewing building practices, particularly permeability, in development in light of Friday's flooding. Chairman and the Mayor of Kingston, Andrew Swaby, said this would help reduce the risk of flooding by allowing more water to be absorbed naturally into the soil.
Allowing more waters to be absorbed naturally in the soil. This will also help to reduce the risk of flooding. This effort will promote more sustainable urban growth while protecting our communities and infrastructure. Another factor we need to look at is the issue of illegal construction along gully banks and waterways. And it has worsened the effect of Friday heavy rainfalls. Residents must take responsibility, as improper practice increases the risk to lives and property. As representative, we must play a stronger role in preventing and reporting unsafe construction and protecting public infrastructure.
Mayor Swaby promised to restrict enforcement and compliance with building codes. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie said the ministry is conducting assessments following Friday's flooding. Meanwhile, Councillor of the Barbican Division, Joy Codrell, has blamed the National Water Commission for the destruction of a section of the roadway in Norbrook. Joy Codrell contended that the roadway presented with a series of issues after the NWC carried out repair works on the pipelines in the area. The issue, she said, was further compounded by Friday's heavy rainfall.
This was caused by the NWC not fixing it properly. With the continuous leakage. They come and they just do a little thing and they leave it. And because of that now, the volume of rain that come now finish wash it away because it was leaking. So every time it leaks, they come and they fix and they patch. But we need to look at it properly and get what is underneath there that is creating the problem dealt with as soon as possible. Majority over most of the communities, you see where NWC come and dig up the place, they don't do it properly and it creates a problem. So this is what, and then now the rain come yesterday, everything just is a mess. So asking the NWC to come and, fix the pipeline properly that the KCC can do their work and get it resolved.
Murder, the jockey was kind-hearted. Just hours before his death, Caymanas Racing posted a promotional video asking 3 jockeys, including O'Neill Mullings, what would be his perfect entrance song. He immediately chose the gospel track, Oh Happy Day. But Sunday was anything but a happy day for Mullings or his loved ones, as one of 2 gunmen pumped 2 bullets into his head, killing him. The 49-year-old was gunned down near his home in Waterhouse, St. Andrew, following what is alleged to be a bitter dispute with the two brothers. The police have since reported that Samuel Brown, 37, of a Kingston 11 address, is wanted for murder. He has been urged to turn himself into the Hunts Bay police. The police report that Mullins was on Thompsonview Avenue, Kingston 11, where he lived, when he was approached by a man armed with a firearm. The gunman opened fire, hitting Mullins in the head. When the news visited the community yesterday, Mullins' relatives sat just footsteps away from where he was murdered. A relative told the news team that an argument developed after one of the two brothers demanded that Mullins pay him for a job that he was not employed to do. She stated that Mullins had hired and paid the other brother in full. Yesterday Sunday me here, my youth not give me money, and me look out and me see the youth have a machete in him hand, and O'Neil out there. O'Neil keep on a tell him that him never give him any work, and him should go to him brother, and him even take him phone out him pocket and tell him to talk to him brother. Him refuse. Me and the other neighbor come out and quash it down. O'Neil sit down, and him all forget about the argument. Him said the youth puff him chest, but him forgive him because of God him a serve, she said. The woman said they all believed the dispute was behind them, but later in the afternoon, the nightmare occurred. All of we sit down outside. Me see when the youth them come up and down, but me not take it as nothing. But all of a sudden, me just see when one of them haul out a shine gun in front of everybody and just blow in a the man head. When me run to him and hold him, me hand full of blood. It was so quick, it was unbelievable, and nobody never thinks that something like this would happen, the woman said. She described the deceased sportsman as hardworking and kind-hearted. O'Neil was a breadwinner and one of the most genuine men me ever know. He born April 1, and people really take him for fool because he was just so kind. If him a buy a beer, him not buy one. Come on, this can't good. Them kill the man and leave him 6 kids without a father. He was a provider and a good father. And when me hear the little son say him father gone left him and don't even give him a hug, it pained my heart, the woman said. Supreme Ventures Racing and Entertainment Limited, operators of Caymanas Park, expressed the shock and the sadness at the tragedy. In a release, the entity said that Mullins, who began his riding career in 2002, was a veteran of the sport with 415 career wins. His dedication and the skill in the saddle made him a respected figure among his peers and in Jamaica's racing community, the entity said. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.